We begin our week of morning shows with a spotlight on the River Valley School District, and Superintendent Lauren Glassbrenner is here today, along with Assistant Superintendent Brian Cry, a guy who wears lots of hats. We'll start with him. Your business card must be quite full, Brian.
Yeah, it's hard to fit everything on your email signature, let alone a business card. But it's fun to be involved, and I think that's whether we're administrators or teachers or support staff, we all like to get involved in everything in school and just be a part of growing kids in any way we can, whether it's in the classroom or outside the classroom. It's a lot of fun.
The move, I know, was a big thing, big topic over the summer. Did you get that all done by opening day?
We had the move done 2.5 weeks ahead of schedule. So we had everything moved, I think it was about mid-July. And there's about 7 or 8 support staff that came in and helped move 70 of our 100 teacher classrooms, which is incredible work by them. So we did a few small construction projects, which delayed a few teachers getting in. But I'm hopeful our staff was pretty happy that they were in by mid-July and they could get their classrooms organized.
Second week of school, Lauren. Is it like old hat now? You got all the schedules down like it's supposed to be and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's so great to see the kids back on our campus, and it's great to see the teachers back around and the flow of traffic, and everything's up and moving. And as Brian just said, that first week of even teachers coming back and in those new spots really felt like a resurgence of energy. It was really exciting to have everybody around. And then the kids come back, and all that hard work that we did over the summer was not just for us, it was for the kids. And so it felt really good to get kids back and to see the parents dropping them off and picking them up. And it's just been really good. By the end of last week, it was back to a regular day, right? The opening day assemblies are over, and those crazy schedules so you can run through everything are kind of done, and everybody knows where their classrooms are and where their electives are going to be. And so everything felt really good by Thursday, Friday. And so this will be a solid just week of academics and getting into the flow of school. So it feels really good. We're excited for the 25-26 school year.
Did you have several new staff members this year?
Yeah, we actually have 6 new staff members. There's several that are new to the district, but I think we have 6 new to the profession too. So that's exciting. So we're excited about the new people that have come aboard. We're fully staffed. We have all our kitchens fully staffed, all our janitorial, all our assistants, all our teachers. Everybody's fully staffed. So it feels really good. We had an entire group that kind of has stuck with us for a long time. So we're excited about them joining some of those veteran staff members. And just feels really good to have some new, fresh ideas around new blood. But it's great to see everybody come back from a summer and well rested and ready to go.
Well, you hit the ground running and you start talking about homecoming and school fair right away, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, this week we've got so many things happening, and those just keep going, and homecoming's right around the corner. So like this week alone, we've got, things like 7th and 8th grade volleyball hits, and then we've got JV football even tonight where Broadhead Judah comes and visits us. Thursday, typical night for volleyball. We've got a lot of volleyball happening around our space. So those are away games for us, but we're excited for that. The teams are ready. We do have 7th and 8th grade football at home this week. Friday night, though, we will have Prayer to Sheen at a varsity football game right on our home stadium. And we're excited about that Friday night football game, kind of the Friday night lights. It'll be a good time. And then Saturday, we have a huge event. We will have our River Valley Invitational, which is a cross-country meet that is beyond another. And Brian will talk about that because he's one of the assistant coaches for that team.
Yeah, congratulations, Brian. How's it going this year?
It's great. The season's off and running. We've had 2 meets, and the team's working hard, and they continue to improve, and they're looking forward. This invite this weekend is our only quote-unquote home meet. And if you've never been to the cross-country invite, it is this Saturday. It starts at 8:30. It's at the Spring Green Municipal Golf Course. Parking can become a little bit of a pain, so you might get a little jog in, actually, to get there. But we have 42 teams. And we divide them up into a large division and a small division, so 21 teams in each division. And there will be about 1,500 runners between 8:30 a.m. and noon on Saturday on that golf course. And the weather looks good. We'll cross our fingers that it stays warm and dry. But it's a great event. If you haven't been there, come on out. There's no entry fee. You just show up to the golf course and cheer some kids on that are run around the golf course. A lot of fun.
It's a real marvel, Brian, because I've had the opportunity to be there a few times, and just how you coordinate all of that between the big schools and the small schools, and then all of your staff on the course and everything.
A lot of volunteers too. So yeah, our parents who want to watch their kids run, we try to give them the opportunity to volunteer and then watch their kid run, and then go back and volunteer. So a big thanks to all our volunteers. And Steve Stetler, the head coach, does an immense amount of work along with Jamie Hegelin to make sure the logistics are all done, from whether it's porta potties or getting them course marked. A lot of work this week. So the other note too is that our swim team has a home meet. The one home meet I think they have this year is tomorrow night at the Spring Green Pool at 6 p.m. So they don't get the opportunity to have home meets either, but that is Tuesday night at the pool against McFarland. So that's fun.
That'll be a great time too.
Yeah, I think the weather, hopefully the water warms up for them. It should now in the next 24 hours.
It's heated, and you might see them getting out of the pool cold. The air might be colder than the pool tomorrow night, but very cool for our girls to have a home swim meet before they get into the indoor season when it gets cooler. So. Yeah.
We talked about it before we went on, but I think it's important to get your fall sports off and running, and if they're successful, it seems like the rest of the year goes better too, doesn't it?
Positive energy, yeah. The football team's been around since August 5th, I believe. Some of the sports started a week later, and then a lot of them started 2 weeks later. So the kids have been in the building since the beginning, middle of August, and when they get off to some positive starts, it does build some very good energy in the buildings and amongst our students and staff and in the community. So we feel like we're off to a great start this school year.
This year you probably wouldn't have wanted it, but any thought, Lauren, of getting the school year started earlier? I think the state mandates or dictates that, doesn't it?
The state does mandate that. You can transition to an earlier start date for a couple reasons, and one of them is construction. So if you're doing a large construction project, you can kind of end early or start late. That gives you more time to do that construction, but beyond that, there's really not a lot of reasons that you can change the school calendar. You have to start after Labor Day. It's part of a state statute. So we start after that. We have everything up and running and have our open houses done, and we have all the kind of kids stuff in the lockers so that when they show up to us last week, we're ready to go. But it's something that we you have this window, and I don't think it's a long enough window, but you have to start after Labor Day, and then by June, a lot of businesses and families have asked that we get kids out of school so they can help out on the farm, or they can get to their summer job, or the kids are kind of tapped out by that time. So within those 9 months, those 180 days, if you will, it's kind of a frame, we have to shove a lot of hours of school into it.
Yeah, very important, because I know you have a huge agricultural area in your district too that
we do
use the help.
Yeah, and they do need the help, and it's also very tourism. The tourism around the kind of Driftless area has grown, and so that becomes part of a big piece too, with Taliesin and House on the Rock or APT and all those things being part of our kind of general region over at River Valley. Those are places where kids want to work, and so that drives our calendar too. We don't want to be going to school halfway through June. We want to be done right away in June so that we can continue to spend June, July, and August kind of away from the campus. Though I will say, by August, when we see parents and they start to come back, they're ready. Parents are ready for the kids to come back by August, usually. Yeah.
Are there some deadlines coming up for the school fair?
Yeah, there are. The school fair is around the corner, you guys. And for us, the school fair and homecoming coincide. So it's a really exciting time at the end of the month. So the River Valley School Fair will be held on Friday, the 26th. And that's the same day. It's homecoming week, but that's our Friday night football game we'll have on the 26th as well. But for the school fair, if you have any entries, all those forms are due by Wednesday, the 17th. So Wednesday, the 17th, we got to make sure that all the children's stuff is in and that we've got all that paperwork in so that our school fair secretaries know exactly what department they'll be in and who will be bringing in the stuff, I guess. So from everything, from ceramics to Legos to cows, we got to make sure that we know the number of them coming in. So we're excited about the 62nd annual River Valley School Fair.
That's amazing in itself, the number of years, and it's one of 2 or 3 that still survive in the state.
Yes, and it's a great thing. If you've never been to the River Valley School Fair, I really implore you, you got to come on over. It's something like you've never seen before. Basically, on that day, we start around 6:30 with entry weigh-ins. So if you're bringing cattle or hogs, you got to do some weigh-ins if they're going to be a part of that market show. So those start at 6:30 in the morning, but all entries start to come in really on Wednesday night and Thursday, and we start to set all of that stuff up. And then by 8 o'clock, all entries have arrived and the fair opens. So it's really by 8:30, the fair is open, and then we have all day a school fair. Right around, I believe, 1 or 2 o'clock, we get into that fair animal auction. We do that, and that finishes right around 2 o'clock. And then by 3 o'clock, we've got a homecoming parade. So everybody runs off the campus and goes downtown and sets up chairs and tables and fun. And then we have a 3 o'clock community parade for homecoming. There's lots of stuff going on downtown. The businesses turn that downtown into an entire, I don't know what else to call it, a party, right? From one end to the other. It ends up being an incredible outdoor fun party theme. This year's theme is actually Rio de Janeiro. So it's kind of that Hawaiian / tropical feel to the school fair. So that's exciting. After the parade, we'll have a community movie, which is good for kids. So that's right around 4 o'clock. That's at the Guard Theater. And then by 7 o'clock, everybody's kind of leaving downtown and coming back over to our stadium so that they can be there for the football game.
Should be a good one. River Valley plays Richland Center this year.
Yeah, it should be good. And I know Richland Center's had a great win. We just had a great win against Broadhead Judah again. So it'll be really fun to see kind of neighboring rivals, if you will, have a really nice, fun game on the 26th that night.
Brian, you look like you can still fit in your letter jacket. Do you wear it that?
I do have it. It is a little bit tight, but I could fit possibly. I'm looking forward to the school fair as well. I grew up in River Valley and participated in every event except the livestock show, and did art and photography and all that stuff. And it is fun to, I talk about getting involved with kids. It's fun to get involved or see kids that day, explore their passions, whether it's showing an animal or it's them submitting an entry for photography or Legos or decorating a pumpkin. It is so cool to see the pride that they have for what they're presenting that day. Love that.
It's a lot of learning going on that day too. I mean, it's not just a day off from school, is it?
Correct. Yeah, we'll have exhibitors throughout the intermediate school campus. So the locations haven't changed. The livestock show is still behind what we called the middle school is now the intermediate school. Then a bunch of exhibitors or exhibitions that are related to agriculture in that back area. The horse show goes on between the intermediate school and the high school in that empty grass lot. And then Lauren and I were talking too. We want people to come by and just explore our buildings. We had the capital referendum fail a couple of years ago, and we've been trying to do some smaller renovations each summer within our budget. And this summer we did a rather big one. We moved our wood shop, which was at the middle school, over to our high school, to existing space. So it was just renovating a space, and we moved our wood shop over there, and it looks beautiful. So if you went to River Valley and you were in the old wood shop in the middle school, we ask you come on by the high school that day during the school fair and check out the new wood shop. See a few other things that we've done in regards to some classrooms and some bathrooms, and just check out our schools. We did a safe and secure entrance at our intermediate school. So all we did was renovated a classroom to be the main office, which now has a very secure and safe entrance for public and students to get in and out every day. Check us out. Come on by. You can check out the fair. You can check out our buildings. We'll have plenty of staff around and administrators around, and we're happy to answer any questions or just show you where to go.
Do you know now, you got it in your mind where all the classrooms are now that they're settled in, or?
I'm getting there. I don't know if Lauren knows yet. We're pretty much settled. It's interesting just to see our district offices in the intermediate school, which is now grades 3 through 6. We used to see the 7th and 8th graders every day out in the halls, and now we're seeing much younger kids, which is fun. So, Yeah, and if people don't know, we're down to 3 buildings, and I'm sure Lauren's talked about that, but all of our kids are on that campus within a couple hundred yards, and that's been very cool to see kids early on interacting across buildings.
Yeah, it does create a bunch of opportunities. It allows our high schoolers to maybe go and volunteer or be a TA, a teacher's assistant, in different spaces. So if they want to think about education maybe as a goal, they could be a teacher's assistant over in an early childhood room, or they could come on over and be a part of a 3rd grade classroom. It really allows some more mentoring and some great cross-grade activity that's really exciting. So that's what, and Brian talks about, like, those are great opportunities for our community to come in, like on School Fair Day, where we're going to have kind of an open house of all buildings, but also that Thursday in homecoming, also we have a big pep rally. And so after the volleyball match, which is against Platteville that night, we have a big pep rally at 8:00. And it's amazing to me the amount of people from the community that flood that high school gymnasium and really make that a community celebration. So what I love about homecoming in River Valley is it's not just about the school. It's about all of us in our community coming together. And there's a lot of people that have graduated from elementaries or even the high schools at Arena, Plain, Lone Rock, Spring Green, and they're all coming together on this day to celebrate what it is to be a Blackhawk. And so it feels really good. And so that pep rally is just a great time for everybody to come together, to cheer on school pride and to have fun. And then the next day with a school fair fits right in line with that energy. And it's just so exciting to have everybody there where they come and support the kids and the great things that happen around our campus. So it's a really fun time to be around the Spring Green campus. And like Brian said, it's even more fun because everybody's right there now. Everybody's basically with the stadium in between us in those 3 buildings, and it just feels like the energy is centralized.
What about the Plain building? Last time you were here, you're talking about that being for sale, Brian?
Yeah, it's still for sale. We have a real estate broker, Andrea Joe, that is in charge of that. So, no additional details on that. It's still for sale, and if we get any offers, that would be for the school board to consider. So, no updates on that building at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We look forward to the fair. I know we'll be there for that day, and we've had all kinds of weather. I think a couple of years ago, it was so cold I could hardly hang on to the microphone, and then last year it was pretty nice.
It was pretty nice last year. So we usually get pretty good weather, and we're hoping for that again because it would be harsh if it was rainy or really cold, but hopefully it bodes well for us and we can, shoot for that good weather target. There are educational opportunities at the school fair too. So Sherry Graffunder and the FFA team, as well as the FFA alumni, really do run that school fair. Hats off to that team. They do incredible work. We're always so pleased with what they do. And again, Sherry Graffunder, the co-chairperson, with Tim Johnson, our co-chairperson of the alumni, and then Rachel Eberly and Tiffany Neuheisel as the secretaries. They do hours of behind the scenes to get all the paperwork once these entries are in, getting all the ribbons ready, getting all the registrations in, getting all the stuff ready for judges that come in and judge every single entry. So that's exciting times. So we're excited about that. As part of our school day, we want every kid to be back on campus to visit the school fair. So it's really fun because anybody in 4K through grade 4 has an entry there. We really want them to be a part of the fair, so they get to have a project in that school fair too. So that's kind of builds in that feel of what a school fair should be. Historically, for the last 100 of years, the county fairs are an educational event. It's when maybe your grandfather or my grandfather came and looked at the new plow or looked at the new way they could chisel, or they looked at new ways to keep crops from rotting over the winter and all that. And so people would bring in their the newest Holstein that they had to really show that off. And so school fairs were about pride, but county fairs were about pride. It's about educating the public on all things agriculture. So for us to still be doing that as a school district, I think is just an incredible, incredible gift. And I just want everybody to come out and be a part of it too, so that they could see all the great things that agriculture still has to offer. It offers different things than it once did, but it's really a cool event. And I do hope that the community really comes out and joins us.
You have a lot of alumni that come back and help out as well, don't you?
Yes, we do. That FFA alumni helps, but there's tons of volunteers. Our staff is all on hand. So there's a lot of people making the things like this happen. And a shout out to all the volunteers and to that FFA alumni team that continues to just envision what this can be for years to come.
Yep.
September 26th.
Yes, sir.
River Valley. We'll be right back with more on the morning show in just a moment. Lauren Glassbrenner and Brian Cry, River Valley Schools, in the studio to talk with us. Lauren comes every month. Brian, he gets strung along once in a while. So, but when we have the opportunity, we like to quiz him a little bit about finances. Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. River Valley's lucky. Again, Brian Cry knows school finance. He's worked in other districts as well, but he understands the finances of a district and how it has implications for your tax bills. I'm just really proud to work with him. He does a great job of explaining it to everyone. And I just wanted to give you, Phil, the opportunity to ask him some great questions about kind of the typical budget within a school district and how, when you hear from a politician, oh, we gave you more money, or you hear from somebody else, oh, your taxes are going up, or you hear from somebody else, oh, they're going to evaluate my property and my aid's going to go down or up, and all those things. I think you always want to go to the source of somebody that understands all of these complex issues that go into school finance, and that's why rather than me trying to explain it, I wanted to bring Brian along for the ride.
Well, Brian, if you live in a township that where it went up a little bit, your mill rate changed or whatever, but it's not always the blame of the school, is it?
Right. No. So I think like the way I told Lauren last week was, there's some good in regards to the property taxes that we are anticipating this winter. There's some bad, and then there's some maybe. So the good is at River Valley, our current mill rate, or last year's mill rate, was $7.35, which puts us 8th out of 11th in regards to one being the highest when we compare ourselves to the 10 surrounding districts, River Valley. So $7.35. We don't anticipate that going up above $7.50 this year. So it's going to remain low in comparison to other districts. That's the good. The bad is that schools did in the state budget get a 2.8% increase in revenue. And the way I like to explain our revenue is that, have you ever been to a gas station and got a fountain soda?
Oh, sure.
Okay, you guys have got a fountain soda. So the revenue limit that we get that is set by the state, I think of that as the cup. So the size of the cup, that's the amount of revenue we get. Now, what I like to do at a local gas station is I like to fill it up with some Coke, and then I fill it up with Diet Coke. So the Coke is going to represent money from the state.
Okay.
And Diet Coke is going to represent money from the taxpayers. Okay. So in this state budget, what our elected officials did was they increased the size of our cup by 2.87%.
Bigger cup.
A slightly bigger cup. That's good for us. The problem is they didn't put any additional Coke in it, which is money from the state. So what that means for property taxpayers is that they're going to have to make up that difference at 2.87%. A little more Diet Coke into our cup to fill it up. So, yeah, they made our cup bigger, but the problem is it's really any educational increases this year in revenue are falling on our taxpayers. Now, the state did give a $1.5 billion decrease in state income taxes, so people should see less state income tax reported when they do their taxes the next 2 years. But our elected officials didn't really, seemingly, it baffles me a little bit, they didn't do anything on the school tax side. So that increase that we are going to get is going to fall on property taxpayers. So that's the bad. The maybe is, I did say our mill rate's not going to increase by a ton. The maybe is that if you have a property that has increased in valuation since last year, you're probably going to see that increase. You are going to see that increase on your tax bills. If you have a property that didn't have a big increase, you're not going to see as much of an increase. So this year, what I see is the mill rate for River Valley almost staying the same. But depending on how your property is assessed, which gets really complicated because the Department of Revenue does it, we don't have anything to do with it. Depending on how your property is assessed will probably depend on how much more you're going to pay in school taxes.
Okay.
So a really complicated issue will boil down to
glass of soda.
A glass of soda, right?
It helped us the uneducated to understand it a little bit better though. But I know River Valley District has been pretty frugal. I mean, over the years, and even with this move, I mean, you've been able to cut corners. And
we've had to make tough decisions, and it's not easy. The last decade, we've obviously made very difficult decisions, but our enrollments declined, and we've continued to right size and be as efficient and effective with our money as possible. Mm-hmm. I think our expenditures since over the last decade on average have increased around 2%. Mm-hmm. So we feel good about that, staying under inflationary increases. But the problem and the reason we have to go to referendum along with so many other school districts, an operational referendum, is because of the revenue. And I went in before our last referendum to a group of students, and this is how I explained it. If you were making $20 an hour in 2010, think about that, you're making $20 an hour, and you now make in 2025-26 $22.39 an hour 15 years later, would you be happy at your job? And a lot of the kids said, I probably would have left at some point. But the reason I say that is that provides context into the amount of revenue we've been able to receive on the revenue limit. So we have received about a 12% increase in revenues since 2010-11. That's it. And the cost of goods and services has increased by about 38%. So River Valley continues to do our due diligence. We continue to, like I said, I like to use the word efficient and effective. But our revenues have just not been able to keep up with what we want to do, or what we need to do for kids. Yeah. So our increases from the state on the revenue limit, putting it in context of an hourly wage, if they were $20 15 years ago, we'd be making $22.39 right now. So that just shows that the increases we've received or decreases that we've received in the past impacting the revenues.
Yeah, this is not a River Valley issue. This is an issue that expands across all the state. There are 431 school districts in the state of Wisconsin, and 90+% of them have had to go to operational referenda. So this is a state problem. We know that. The politicians know that. Nobody's just had enough guts to change the way they fund education. And that's a big, big ask. I get it. In all due respect to the people that are making the rules, I understand it's an incredibly hard task to take a look at, because you're considering districts the size of Milwaukee and districts the size of Ithaca running on the same formulas. And that's just crazy in my mind that a little district and a humongous district would run on the same platform, I guess. So I understand that it's a very complex issue and it's a very political issue, but I do think it's something that our state of Wisconsin is going to have to look at. It's just something that, 90% of or more of our districts have the need to ask their communities for the funding to do what is needed to fund public education. So I think that's a call from all of us to, yes, live within our means, yes, to be efficient, but also to be really careful with the monies that we get and to think about other ways that we can fund.
You'll have more spare time this year. You won't be going out to all these meetings and...
I'll find something to do. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. We are not in a referendum year.
Right.
It's an exciting time.
No, and we've said it before, but we're thankful to the River Valley community for supporting the operational referendum. It just goes to fund what we're doing for kids. We are very fortunate to offer welding, woods, and auto shop, along with agriculture and art and a few other electives. So we feel good about what we're doing, and we appreciate the support.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll continue to be as efficient as we can and effective as we can be with the funding that we're given. So it's a great thing that we have public schools. I think, again, I try to say it's the best job to really watch these kids grow and to see them bloom as we see them kind of develop through the years at our campus. But it takes money to make that happen. And I think it's the kind of the bedrock of America America is a solid public education.
Yeah, and I don't know how you put it all together, Brian, but another thing you got to worry about is upkeep and, grounds and buildings and roofs and all those kind of things.
Yeah, and we've been able to be very proactive with those things. We have a long-term maintenance plan. We have our roofs sectioned off so we don't get hit with like one big budgetary issue. We can kind of chip away at them over time. So I would say we were pretty reactive 10 years ago. But now we've been able to be proactive with these items, which then allows us to, renovate a bathroom that hasn't been touched since 1968, or renovate classroom flooring and trim and paint the walls that hasn't been done for 30 or 40 years. So, and we were fortunate. We not only did the wood shop this summer, but we did about 10 classrooms where we just did some new flooring and some trim and paint, and it looks incredible. And the teachers were super excited.
Makes a big difference.
And it impacts just the culture of the staff and the students walking into a space that had some very minor updates, but has a major impact on just their what they feel when they walk in the room. So yeah, it's been a great summer, and we'll keep doing what we're doing. And if anyone has questions on what we're doing, we always say reach out. My cell phone number's in my email signature, and I'm happy to give that out, and people can call anytime with questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and come see us. We'd love to see you, not only just for those questions, but we'd really love for you to be at our school fair and to be at that, the volleyball match on Thursday the 25th or on the 26th. Come on out to that football game, because it's going to be a great time to be around the River Valley campus. So we're excited for folks to just join us this autumn as we jump into an incredible school year.
Thanks for coming in today, gentlemen.
Absolutely, Phil.
Appreciate it. We'll see you at the fair then, too.
Sounds good.
Just a couple of weeks away. Lauren Glassbrenner and Brian Cry joining us from the admin team at River Valley. We'll be back with more coming up on The Morning Show.